Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Great to see all of you here at Ahavat Shalom. Welcome to the sanctuary and our celebration of Shabbat and the second night of Hanukkah. We've got a Shabbat live band service today. Rabbi Matt Berger joined our soloist, Michelle McNicholas. On the bass, we have Alex Corbin. Cameron Emig is on the drum kit. And as always, on the ivories, Joy Katzen-Guthrie. We're going to have a number of great Hanukkah songs today. And we will begin did we bring out the these, or are we in the regular one? Nope, we didn't. So I'll rejigger the page numbers and actually take one of, yeah. That's the booklet, but that's not the service booklet. So I'll use this as well. Okay, great. But you'll be able to follow along. All the prayers, Hebrew and English readings are all on the screen. We're going to begin with Chag Sameach. That's our traditional holiday greeting. The Chag is the holiday, and Sameach is joyful or happy. School director for handing out the prayer books. Really appreciate that. So for those who want to wear Hanukkah, feel free to go to the lighting. And right up here, the lights of the Chanukia, which is a special word for the menorah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, bayamim hahen hazman hazeh. In our next slide, we'll have our second blessing, She'asa Nisim Lavotenu, thanking God for the miracles in the Jerusalem temple of old, the oil lasting for 8 instead of just one night. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavotenu, bayamim hahen beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we have a tradition here. If any ladies would like to come up and help us light the Shabbat candles, you can feel free to do so as we sing Debbie Friedman's Light These Lights. As we've been doing the last number of weeks, I'd like to offer a special prayer that you'll find only on the screen for Medinat Yisrael, the land and state of Israel. Feel free to join me. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. May you bless the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all who stand guard to protect our people. Shield them from all troubles and injury. Help them secure freedom without loss of life for all those held captive by the enemy. May they have strength and courage of heart. We are going to now share and invite all of you to join us in our second Hanukkah song, the classic, O Hanukkah. O Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Jimmy bones to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each from all of you tonight. We're going to continue one of the traditional prayers, the Chatzi or half Kaddish words of praise that you can find on page 7 in the Shabbat service booklet.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah B'yom divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'vyom echon Uv'chayedecho bet Yisrael Bagala bagala Uv'izman kariv V'imiru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam U'almei Almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitala Shemei Dekudesh Abrichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbichata v'nechemata Damiran b'alma v'yemiru Amen.
Let's rise now for Shema and its blessings, which begins with the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. Join me on page 8 for the evening Ma'ariv Arvim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Your world is like a puzzle, God, and all the pieces fit together. The sun lights up the earth by day, the moon and stars glow at night. In every season, we sense your presence. On Shabbat, we give thanks for the world and its beauty. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim, in a prayer of great love, Ahavat Olam, on page 9. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, with a great love, you have taught us how to live with meaning. Through mitzvot, sacred memory, celebrations, and Torah. They are the light of our eyes, the essence of our being. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. We'll sing Open Up Our Eyes together.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather
free to be seated. You'll find the words to the V'ahavta, which is just the continuation of the words of the Shema, Listen Israel, on page 10. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam bevetecha uvlechtecha v'derech ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות עיניך. Many of you will recognize as Ma'od Sur, or Rock of Ages, which we will sing later. But one of the very special things about the Mi Chamocha prayer is it has about at least a half dozen traditional melodies that you would sing at various points throughout the year. And there is indeed a special one for Hanukkah, which is this. Excuse me. Oh. Aheli Madonai Bi Hamocha Edar Bakodesh Noratin Kilo next page, the top of 13, the prayer which we will sing to an arrangement by Craig Taubman, Hashkivenu, for shelter.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu
We're going to continue with our standing prayers, the words of the Tefillah, which begin on page 14. Let's rise as we ask God to open our lips to hear our words of praise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, Umevi gula livnei vneihem, Leman shemo v'yahava, Melech ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechaye hakol, atah rav lehoshia, mashiv haruach u'marid hagashem, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umkayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha ba'al kivurot, umido melach, melech memit, umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Feel free to be seated. This next prayer is special for Hanukkah and for Purim, and it's called For the Miracles. Al Hanisim, for the miracles and wonders that God did for the Jewish people, the Israelites, long ago in the land of Israel. What I like about this, it's a nice upbeat one. A fun one. And for our moments of reflection, let's sing together the prayer of peace, Birkat Shalom, also known as Shalom Rav. Hope and prayer for great peace in Israel and Ukraine and throughout the world.
Shalom
Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech gadol v'kol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech gadol v'kol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
This time in our prayer together, we are going to offer words of healing. And the Misha Be'erach, you'll find the blessing and prayer on the screen. You'll also find it on the top of page 18 in your service booklets. Think of all those in Israel who are casualties recovering from the war. And to those names, we add the following in our community and beyond. So we think of Jacqueline Albin, Joanne Beeman Fiddleman, Yonatan Ruven Ben Rivka, Charlie Burke, Babs Brown, Tina Bruns, Marie D'Alessandro, Stephen Drenane, Norman Fiddleman, Harry Fleisch, Denise Freifeld, Mitchell Freifeld, David Friedlander, Yost Grobe, Maya Herman, Jim Howard, Lucy Lang, Ken Mercero, Michael Ranzino, Stephanie Ross, Carol Spani, Dennis Schulman, Albert Schaefer, Angie Sermenis, and Jeff Stark. And if there are any other names that you'd like to add now for healing, please feel free. Sing these words together.
Avotenu mikor habracha.
are now going to sing 3 Hanukkah songs in a row, the reprise of the Ma'otzor theme, but this time with Ma'otzor and then followed by the English Rock of Ages. That'll be our first one. Ma'otzor Yeshuati Lechana et Leshabeya Tikkun Beit Tefilati Lisham Toda Nisabeya V'yetachim Matbeya Yitzar Amna Beya Azek Mor Bashir Mizmor Hanukkah Amizbeya Azek Mor Bashir Mizmor Hanukkah Amizbeya Rock of Ages, let our song praise your saving power. You amid the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furiously assailed us, but your arms availed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke their sword when our own strength failed us. All right, this next one will be Debbie Friedman's Not by Might, Not by Power, which is really lifted, the Hebrew at least, from the book of Zechariah 4:6, not by power, not by spirit, not by might, but by spirit alone. It starts with this triplet clapping, so I'll ask you to give it a try with me once. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, so as soon as we start, I'll count it in, and then you'll do those 4, and please sing along with us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children dream. Oh, their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power, but by peace. Shalom. All right, those two are fun, but this is probably my favorite of the 3. And 99.9% of you have never heard this at all, but it's about donuts. So one of the things you're supposed to do during Hanukkah is eat greasy things like potato latkes and either a sufganiyah, a single donut, or sufganiyot, which are 2 or more donuts. My wife Ida made some awesome donuts at home, and we ate definitely more than 2 donuts. Very, very good. So this is an Ellen Allard song, and many times during Hanukkah, the sufganiyot, you can have a glazed one, and we have some sufganiyot for the oneg, but a lot of times you can put things inside. So some of the things that you can put inside are strawberry. You can always put in chocolate, and one of my favorites, dulce de leche. So those are the 3 things that we're going to add. Obviously, you can do a lot of different things, but that's like 3 mini verses all on its own. All right, ready to go?
Yep.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna make some soup. Yummy in the middle. Soup. Gonna make some soup. Gonna soup. Gonna make some soup. Yummy in the middle. Soup. Gonna make some soup. What's in the middle? Strawberry. What's in the middle? What's in the middle? Strawberry. What's in the middle of the sufganiyot? Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. Yummy in the middle. Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. What's in the middle? Chocolate. What's in the middle? Sufganiyot. What's in the middle? Chocolate. What's in the middle of the sufganiyot? Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. Yummy in the middle. Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. What's in the middle? Dulce de leche. What's in the middle? Sufganiyot. What's in the middle? Dulce de leche. What's in the middle of the sufganiyot? Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. Yummy in the middle. Sufganiyot. Gonna make some soup. Soup. Sufganiyot. Isn't that a fun one? Yeah. She's great with kids songs, also with adult songs, and I was actually lucky enough to play in a band with her for about 5 years. It was a lot of fun. Very, very talented. All right. I think I deserve 1 sip of water. Maybe 2. Many years ago, a Jewish Nobel Prize-winning author was asked in an interview, what is the future of Yiddish? His response, it's said that if a Yiddish reader dies, no one is there to replace him, but I'll tell you this. We now have in the world 3.5 billion people, and I'll tell you when this was made, and every one of them will need a topic for a PhD. They'll bring up every Yiddish book, good, bad, or indifferent, as well as every manuscript, and write dissertations about it. Later on in the same interview, when he was asked whether Jews will remember Yiddish, the Nobel laureate quipped, Jewish people suffer from all kinds of sicknesses, but amnesia isn't one of them. Our trouble is that we remember too much. These are but 2 of the many musings of one Yitzhak Bashevis Singer, better known by his English name Isaac Bashevis Singer. one of the foremost Yiddish writers and storytellers of the 20th century. Born in Radzymin, a suburb of Warsaw, in 1903, Isaac was one of 3 kids in his family home. His father was a Hasidic rabbi, and his mother was the daughter of a Hasidic rabbi. Both of his older siblings, Esther Kreitman and Israel Joshua Singer, became authors as well, though Esther was the first in the family. For several years, Isaac and his siblings lived with their grandfather in a small Polish village called Bilgoraj. And it was there that Isaac acquired his impressive knowledge of shtetl life, which features so prominently in his works. Notably, he spent 2 years at a yeshiva at rabbinical school, but neither the school nor the profession suited him. Luckily, his brother edited a Jewish newspaper in Yiddish called Literarische Blätter and gave Isaac a job as a proofreader. In 1935, Isaac followed his brother Israel to New York City, where he became a journalist and columnist for the Jewish daily Vorwärts, or the Forward. Though Isaac didn't speak a word of English when he came to the U.S., he learned to speak it fluently when he translated his first book, Satan in Goray, from Yiddish to English. But even so, throughout his life and career, he wrote exclusively in Yiddish. I'll ask our tech team to display a picture of Isaac on the screen. For the last 2 years, I've been sharing the captivating tales of Isaac Bashevis Singer during Hanukkah. Singer's literary world is filled with miracles, wonders, trials, and tribulations, yet ultimately love and faith triumph time and again. Tonight's story, like the previous 2 I've shared, is drawn from his own childhood. In this spirit, I present to you Kraft Licht, the power of light. During World War II, after the Nazis had bombed and burned the Warsaw Ghetto, a teenage boy and girl were hiding in the room. David was 14 years old, while Rebecca was 13. It was winter and bitterly cold outside. For weeks, Rebecca hadn't left their hiding place, a dark, partially collapsed cellar. But every few days, David would go out in search of food. Though all of the stores had been destroyed in the bombing, he sometimes found stale bread, a can or 2 of food that were buried underneath the rubble. Making his way through the ruins was very dangerous. Sometimes bricks and mortar would fall right in front of him, and he would lose his way. But if he and Rebecca wanted to survive, he had to take the risk. That day was one of the coldest. Rebecca sat on the ground wrapped in every garment she possessed, but still she couldn't get warm. David had left hours before. Rebecca listened in the darkness for the sound of his return. Suddenly she heard heavy breathing and the sound of a bundle being dropped. David had made his way home. In the darkness they embraced, and David said, "Rebecca, I found a treasure." "What treasure?" Rebecca answered. "Cheese, potatoes, dried mushrooms, and a package of candy. And I have another surprise for you." "What surprise?" Rebecca asked. "Later," he said. Both were too hungry for a long talk. Ravenously, they ate the frozen potatoes, the mushrooms, and part of the cheese. They each had one piece of the candy. After a while, Rebecca asked, "So what's the surprise?" "Rebecca," he said, "today is the first day of Hanukkah, and I found one candle and a few matches." David lit the match, and there was light. Rebecca and David stared at their hiding place, bricks, pipes, and the uneven ground. He lit the candle, and Rebecca blinked her eyes. For the first time in weeks, she really saw David. His hair was matted, his face was covered with dirt, but his eyes shone with joy. David pronounced the brachot, the blessings, over the Hanukkah candle, and Rebekah said, Amen. As they both lost their families because of the Nazis, they had good reason to be angry for God for sending them so many afflictions, but the light of the candle brought peace into their souls. That glimmer of light, surrounded by so many shadows, seemed to say, without a single word, evil has not won, and hope still remains. For some time now, David and Rebekah had thought about escaping the Warsaw Ghetto. Somewhere in the forest, they knew there were young men and women called partisans who fought the Nazis. David wanted to reach them, but the ghetto was watched day and night by Nazi guards, and every step was dangerous. Now, by the light of the single Hanukkah candle, Rebekah felt renewed courage. She said, David, let's leave now. David replied, I have a plan, but it's more than a risk. In the wanderings through the ruins, David found a small opening leading underground. He thought it might lead to the other side of the ghetto. The Hanukkah light began to sputter, and flicker before going out. David and Rebekah gathered their few belongings and packed the remaining food in a handkerchief. In moments of great danger, people become unusually courageous. David and Rebekah were soon on their way through the ruins. They came to passages so narrow that they had to crawl on their hands and knees. But the food they'd eaten and the joy of the Hanukkah candle gave them courage to go on. Soon they found the opening that David had spoken about. After walking slowly, sometimes crawling for some time, they suddenly stopped in their tracks. From above, they could hear the clanging of a trolley car. They had reached the other side of the ghetto. All they needed now was to leave Warsaw as quickly as possible. Many miracles seemed to happen that night. Because the Nazis were afraid of enemy planes, they had ordered a complete blackout of the city. Due to the bitter cold, there were fewer Gestapo guards. David and Rebekah managed to flee the city without being caught. They reached the forests where they were able to rest and have a bite to eat. Even though the partisans weren't very far from Warsaw, it took David and Rebekah about a week to find them. In one village, they encountered a Jewish partisan who belonged to the Haganah, an organization that sent men from Israel to rescue Jewish refugees from the Nazis in occupied Poland. This young man brought David and Rebekah to the other partisans who were hiding in the forest. It was the last night of Hanukkah, and the partisans lit the candles. Some of them played with a wooden dreidel on the stump of an oak tree, while others kept watch. I'll ask our tech team to display a picture of the celebration on the screen. It's a beautiful painting. From the day David and Rebekah met the partisans, their life became like a fairy tale. They joined more and more refugees, all of whom had one desire: to settle in the land of Israel. They didn't travel by train or bus, they walked, sleeping in stables and burned out houses to hide from the enemy. To reach their destination, they had to walk across Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Yugoslavia. Somewhere at the seashore in Yugoslavia, in the middle of the night, a small boat manned by the Haganah took in the refugees with their meager possessions. This all happened silently and in the dark of night. Upon safely reaching land in Israel, the Jews greeted them with open arms and a love that made them all their suffering. They were the first refugees to offer help and comfort they could give. Though they both lost their families in a suburb of Tel Aviv. Years later, David was playing dreidel with their little son, while Rebekah was frying up some latkes on the skillet. Menachem Eliezer, named after both of their grandfathers, was using the same wooden dreidel that the partisans played that 8th night of Hanukkah years ago in the forest. Turning to David and their son, Rebekah said, "If it hadn't been for that single little candle you had brought to our hiding place, we wouldn't be sitting here today." That glimmer of light awakened in us a hope and strength we didn't know we possessed. We'll give the dreidel to Menachem Eliezer when he's old enough to understand what we went through and how miraculously we were saved. May the message of this beautiful story, which speaks to the courage of the Jewish people, remind us that even amidst the darkness of rising anti-Semitism, we should always seek out hope and light. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue with the Aleinu, the Adoration, that you'll find on page 19 in your service booklets. Please rise as the ark is opened.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot hadama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol ha'aretz
As we fondly remember the following individuals whose families are in the period of Shloshim, first 30 days mourning their loved one. We, of course, think of all the Israeli families who are still in mourning for their loved ones due to the war in Gaza. Namely, Anna Winters, grandson of Herman, Jerry Carr, husband of Pauline Carr, Bob Rosen, husband of Betty Rosen, Gilbert, father of Ron Gilbert, and Gilbert Padron. It really was very, very sad to hear about that. And before we get to the art sites, remind me if for some reason I forget, there's a special Kaddish for teachers and for students called Kaddish de Rabbanan. I'm going to read an English translation, a variation on the Aramaic. Al Yisrael ve'al Rabbanan ve'al Talmidei Hon, for our community teachers and students, those who receive, learn, and hand down the teachings, for those who explain, those who make connections, those who draw out truths waiting patiently to be revealed, for those who challenge words that cause harm, those who reinterpret, reframe, and redeem meanings, for those who learn through study and those who learn with experience, those who learn from all peoples, cultures, and traditions, and those who live out the wisdom they have gained. Yehei lechon ulchon shlama rabba china v'chista v'rachamin. May the source of all wisdom grant us peace, love, and compassion as we say, Amen. Zichrono livracha, may his memory be for blessing. We now mark the art site of the following individuals who have died during the season in years past, as we remember fondly Harold Berman, Leah Bloom, Jacqueline Briner, Bessie Broder, Faye Eisenstadt, Muriel Ettinger, Saul Gold, Shirley Goldstein, Gertrude Gottesman, Irving Haber, Nancy Ilhert, Stephen Kaplan, Ron Lang, Sidney Leader, Leon J. Levine, Bill Lipton, Irving Marcus, Israel Namath, Mary Nels, Donald Nels, Marlene Packler, Harry Plevin, Marvin Press, Louis Ritchie, Sam Satinoff, Lena Schiffman, Alex Schwartzstein, Florence Spesser, Morris Teckler, Arnold Teeter, Anna R. Weiss, and Francis Wolf. Are there any other names to add for yard site? We say Zichronam Livracham, may the memories of these good people continue to be a blessing in their loved ones' lives as we rise to offer the words of Kaddish praise together. Yitgadal Yitzchadash Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma Divrach Yerutei V'yamlich Malchutei, Kaychon of Yomechon, Kayed Ho Beit Yisrael, Agalav Yisran Kariv Imru, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach. As we say, Amen.
V'imru, 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 amen. V'imru, 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 amen.
Feel free to be seated. We'll continue with the Shabbat Kiddush, blessing over the fruit of the vine, also found on page 21. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei puri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yavahu v'ratzon, inchilanu, zikarol nemaseh v'reishit, kihu yom tehillah, l'mikrah kodesh, zecher l'tzion Mitzrayim, ki banu v'harta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshcha, v'yavahu v'ratzon, inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-shabbat.
Amen.
Chaim to life. Any kids or older kids, younger kids who'd like to come forward to help us lead the blessing over the challah, the motzi? We've got 1, 2, 6, 12 pieces. More than enough, absolutely.
Why do you cut them up?
Why do we cut them up?
I asked you why you cut them
It's better than, just ripping in this particular case. There you go. Good to see you. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise. joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu haolam, two guests from Espirito Santos Catholic School. In the days following the October 7th terrorist tragedy, they reached out to Tammy Wolf, our religious school director, and myself, and felt moved to support Israel and show their support. So my pleasure to call forward the 6th grade history teacher, Mr. Henry Uhlenbrauk, as well as the art teacher, Mrs. Jackie. I didn't get your first name. And they created, we're not going to open it, but a beautiful art project. And feel free to come forward and share a few words about it. What a beautiful painting. Come right up to the mic.
My name is Tim Jackie. I'm the art teacher over at Espiritu Santo Catholic School, and we feel so welcome, and we've enjoyed your service, and it gave us a great opportunity.
Thank you.
I could talk about history. So we had to always tie this to education, so we took the opportunity with our lessons to talk about Israel and the history and the struggles, and to explain that when we have to live to these posters, I have them to my room, that being silent, being quiet is not acceptable, that we have to be together. And that's why I was moved originally to come to show that I'm not a silent partner, that I'm here to support Jewish community and Israel, and to show that you're not alone. Thank you.
We really, really appreciate your support, your kindness, and greatly looking forward to what's in the box, and I'll do my best to put it together. But Tammy and I were very moved by the initial show of support. This is at least the second, if not third time, that David has been with us on Shabbat. And in Hebrew, we would say, Toda Rabbah. Thank you so much for your support and letting us know that we're not alone. Ed?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And to those, our friends from Spirit of Sanctum, thank you so much. The gesture and the friendship are everywhere in the room. Thank you. Many thanks to Rabbi Michelle, Joy, Cameron, and Alex for leading a wonderful Hanukkah service along with their clock. They're looking for holiday gifts for the kids and volunteers to help prepare for that event. Please feel free to ask questions if you have them afterwards. Jewish Federation of the Gulf Coast, Florida's Gulf Coast, presents a reel-to-reel film series every year. The next version of that is coming up here on Thursday, December 21st at 7 p.m. The movie title is A Kaddish for Bernie Madoff. And it's a phenomenal movie. It's not an easy one, but it's a very good movie. Tickets are $15. Call the Federation office and you can make those arrangements. Rabbi Gary Klein will be leading services on Friday, December 29th, as Rabbi Matt is going to take a few days off. After the service, a special Oneg Shabbat. I have a caution for you. For those of you who are not familiar with Hanukkah fare, pick up extra napkins. Hanukkah is the festival of lights and oil. And no, And my jacket is not a substitute for the napkins, although if you really need to, that's okay. After the service, we hope you'll join us. The room is right behind us. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah.
Shalom. Thank you so much, Ed. Chag Sameach. And our closing song, hopefully you will like it. Feliz Hanukkah. It's a really good one. Feliz Hanukkah, Feliz Hanukkah, Feliz Hanukkah, potato latke sugania. Feliz Hanukkah, Feliz Hanukkah, Feliz Hanukkah, potato latke sugania. I wanna wish you a Sameach. I wanna wish you a Sameach. I wanna wish you a Sameach from the bottom of my heart. I wanna wish you a Sameach. I wanna wish you a Sameach. I wanna wish you a Sameach from the bottom of my heart. Ah, it was just that. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for being here. Join us in the Oneg.